right, it's time for some Maxton design installation aero on the R8. Here's what we got. I've got side skirt number 1 and side skirt number 2 and the front splitter. We're gonna do the side skirts first. So here's what I'm thinking. Groove, 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 pre-drill holes, and then pre-drill holes here. And we're gonna put them about this far away from the edge. And then we're gonna put self-tapping screws in it. I'm gonna use this box here. We're gonna screw them in with those guys, but I'm gonna check fitment first, make sure that it all lines up, and once it does, I'm gonna peel this protective coating off. So a nice gloss black is gonna go really well as a contrast with the satin black on the R8 already. Look at how satisfying this is. The protective film. All right, it's about time that wheels go on the R8. Got them lined up right here. These are the new ones from Boston, and they have the new X-Comp tires on them. Hit us up if you need tires. Now, when we got them powder coated, the inside also got powder coated. And what Kayla was explaining is that when there's powder on the inside here, the part that attaches to the actual hub of the car, it's uneven. And we figured that out because when I put it on the car, it felt wobbly and it didn't fit snug like it's supposed to. He's grinding them down so we can get a flush install. Maxton Design, drilling into the small holes they have here. And we have elected not to use this hardware that they gave us. We love you guys. Bolt setup, it's just gonna be too difficult with this bumper. We just wanna get it on without having to pull the bumper off or take too much apart. So we're gonna use some different hardware. What is this stuff called again?
Rip nuts. You drill a hole and then you compress this. This is gonna replace the nut. So instead of having to reach through and hold the nut and the bolt and put them together, we can put this in and then just put a bolt from one side and just tighten it up.
And then we use self-tapping screws on the side skirts here to get those in, and a few of self-tapping screws, and that thing is definitely not going anywhere. But lining this stuff up, this is a team effort. Now he's gonna put the tool in. Look at that, that's pretty fancy. Okay, so now that we have our rib nuts all in place, we pulled the plastic off of this because it was going back on and off to make sure that we got all these drilled in the right spots so they would line up. This thing has to get a new clutch in it, which means that basically everything has to come off. And in addition to that, we're gonna pop some new engine mounts on it. Now, if you have a mid-engine car, specifically an R8, why are engine mounts important? Well, I learned about them recently. Thanks to guys over at Prothane. I'll put their handle up here in the sky and give them a follow. They make urethane engine mounts which will outlast rubber ones, and they come with a lifetime warranty. So if you have an engine sitting in your car, whenever you rev that big V10, that thing shakes a little bit. When it shakes, you're technically losing a little bit of horsepower. So if you have really good engine mounts, or if you have a 10-year-old car with rubber that's falling apart in literally every place, replacing those and putting in some high quality stuff that keeps that engine from doing so much of this and keeping it planted, helps you plant that horsepower. We are on the last day of reassembling the R8 in time for SEMA, and man, has it been a crazy last 24 hours. Here's what's happened. We figured out bolts on the actual clutch were of the wrong torque spec. Now, here's why this gets interesting. Yesterday, I showed up, and all of his tools were super organized, and I was like, why are all your tools this organized? And he said, because we're about to do a lot of work in a little amount of time. And I was like, what do you mean? We had to take everything that we had done. Like, it looked like this on Wednesday night. On Thursday morning, we had to take everything out, readjust those torque specs, and then put everything back. And that just shows you that if there's some small detail that we catch that's wrong, no matter how much work it takes to reverse it, make it right, we don't cut corners at Voodoo. So we got the correct torque spec on, we got everything dialed in, mechanically the car is running now, which is fantastic. However, there's always more side quests. We need to program the kiss point in on this, and we have a scan tool that communicates with the transmission to do that. The scan tool, for some reason, doesn't want to talk to the transmission anymore, so we can't program the kiss point. Now, we had it in this holding place right here with these other exhaust pipes on to just basically get it running so we could program it, but since it's not working, Kalen, you said you think you might know why.
Maybe a ground wire in one of these is not connected.
Stay tuned, guys. Let's see if we can put this all back together and pray that that communication tool works. Next, Subble even came over and redid the hood because the hood had some chips and scratches and stuff in it. Wheels are on the R8 and it's off the jacks. However, there's one issue that's preventing it from actually moving, and that is setting the kiss point in the transmission. Now, in order to do that, we have to be able to plug in our scan tool and talk to the transmission and tell it where the kiss point is. It has a hill assist error, which is related to the ABS. It has to do sometimes with how you park the car, what gear you park it in, or sometimes it just shows up on its own. Now, the easy solution to this in the past is just drive it around. However, this is a catch-22. You can't drive a car where the kiss point isn't set, and you can't set the kiss point without driving the car. So our solution was put the wheels on, turn the car on, and push it in circles around the parking lot. So we just backed it out and brought it back in, and all the warning lights are gone. So we're hoping that that means that we have access to the transmission. It is less than 24 hours until this car has to be at SEMA. So the clock is definitely ticking because we also have to still put the wing back on, get some electrical stuff figured out, put the wheel liners back in, and figure out what's going on with the flame kit, put the engine covers back on, a couple other small things, but the main thing is this transmission stuff. Bro, wait, the irony of this song right now. Okay, update. Car's back on the rack. Wheels are off. We're tearing stuff apart again. Checked all of our grounds. We're looking at wired diagrams. A battery reset and fuses. So we checked the fuses here. We checked the TCU, which is here. Didn't see any issues there. So I'm going to pull the floorboard out and we're going to check the fuses there, see if anything's shorted. We're also going to do a battery reset. So the positive and negative terminals are coming out, and then we connect them together to try to wake the car back up. Also, shout out to Next Level for coming in kind of last second, doing a headlight restoration. A little bit of cosmetic touch up. Absolute worst case scenario is the car gets towed to SEMA, we put it on GoJax and we roll it in. Not ideal, but it will at least get us to SEMA. We also broke these, I broke this, pushing the car around by it. It is chassis mounted, but I had the wrong hardware in this part and it stripped the bolts and came out when we were trying to push it around to try to reset the car. Process of elimination. Hopefully we can figure it out. Also shout out to Yoast, Lamborghini, and AGX for coming in clutch with some ideas on how to troubleshoot this. Good dudes over there. This is the screen that we've been trying to see.
You know when it gets kissed because the RPM's right here, so we're sitting at 0. That'll jump up to 400, 500, and then slowly come back down to 0. Because it's just slowly just engaging the clutch just a little bit, just to make the input shaft turn. Stops, backs off, and it slowly comes back to it again.
So it looks like we are in business. Very stressful day. Very stressful. Oh my goodness. It is 8 o'clock. It is dark outside. We're still working on the car. Home stretch, baby. All we got to do is finish wiring in the LEDs that are on it, get all of our ground set. I don't want to take this thing out ever again for the rest of my life. We got one engine bay cover on. We got the other one to go. I got to slap these wheels on. Ever built a Lego as a kid and you have like, you try to have all the bags of your parts everywhere and you're slowly building it together and then you get down to like that last bag of parts? Finally. We're almost there, baby. SEMA. This is gonna be worth it. Stressful, but it was the perfect textbook SEMA experience. We got an invite from a fantastic, world-recognized brand. We built the whole car. We did every mod we possibly could do to it. And then so many sponsors jumped on board. Almost everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. And then we found solutions along the way from all the amazing people in the car community that we've been able to connect with along the way. So it was really cool to see everyone, not just at Voodoo, but everywhere else, pull together to make sure that this thing shows up in Las Vegas. If you're a car guy and you have your friends and you're trying to build a race car, SEMA's like the Super Bowl. What car guy doesn't want to build a race car to take to Las Vegas to show off to everybody what you and your friends can do? That is a finished SEMA build. We're gonna take it on a quick test drive right now and see if it can move itself. I didn't think we were gonna make it. For the first time in weeks, feels good to see it move. Huge shout out to Diode Dynamics for hooking up the LEDs. Golly. Golly, that was a lot of work. Oh my God, you guys do not know the relief to see that thing moving on its own. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, guys. We have a lot of SEMA content coming down the pipeline. We drop videos every single Tuesday and Thursday, and we got a lot of surprises for you guys after SEMA. It will not end here. All right, we'll catch you. This feels so good. Thank goodness for Kaylin and the guys at Voodoo. We'll catch you at the next episode. Peace.
I took a trip out of Cali, Arizona to the valley. Fast cars like a rally, but you never won the words. She call me automatic magic.